Good evening, friends. We will start today's. This is the third lecture in this series. So, welcome to the Kalpa Startup Masterclass series once again. Today, we are discussing a very important aspect. In fact, it would be the fundamental for any startup to protect the IP generated. Which can be technology or trade name or design, whatever it is. So I will not elaborate it because we have a very good speaker today. She is not only an IP expert, she is a registered patent agent. Besides that, she is a founder of a company itself. That company name is IP
Inculcator.
IP
Inculcator.
Inculcator. It's a very nice name also. Prior to that, she was deputy dean in one of the very prestigious university, lovely university, and had a lot of work and good lot of experience. So, in fact, our scientist from headquarters who was with us in the inaugural day, Dr. Vikram Singh, I should thank him first for providing such a very good high-profile faculty for this lecture series. So one way you people are lucky because last time we didn't get. We managed ourselves this IP aspects. So I can also give you a lecture on IP. What are the patent? How to register? But that will be something like an academic nature, something like a presentation or a PPT presentation. But now you have a good faculty who is in the business. She will be able to, in future also you can approach her for if you want to file some patent or anything. So that kind of a faculty we have today, luckily. So I won't waste the time. It is my pleasant duty and privilege to welcome Dr. I am unable to spell here. Runjun Tanden. Of course, I think your husband is Gupta.
No, I was previously Gupta before marriage.
Okay. So your husband's name is Tanden.
Yeah,
Tanden is quite common. I mean, I have heard about Gupta.
Okay.
Some of my teachers are Gupta.
Yeah.
Institutions are in the Gupta family.
Okay.
I'm basically statistics.
Okay.
So thank you for joining, and now please take care.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, Muralidharan sir. It's a very nice pleasure. I hope I am audible.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, thanks a lot. It has been a pleasure that you have invited me to speak about IP and its value, especially for startups. And talking about my journey, I would like to share my screen. Are the screen rights given to me?
Yeah, please see. I made first.
Okay, sir. I'll just.
Yeah.
So now when we are talking about the intellectual property, I hope my screen is visible to everybody.
You can go for that full screen. That
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll go for full screen. I hope it's visible now.
Yeah. First slide. Now it is second slide, I think.
Yeah, it's the second slide. Okay. So now when we are talking about IP, we already know that IP, these are territorial rights and these are negative rights because these are the only rights which are giving you the confirmation or which are giving you the pleasure of stopping others from using your invention. Now, when you are talking about startups, when we are talking about forming a new company, having the right IP at the right time matters a lot. Because if you are not aware of which IP has to be taken care of at what time, then even if you are having a very good research which you are doing at your end, if you are not able to protect it, you are at a bigger loss. So you should be knowing and you should be really keen to know that which IP has to be registered and how it has to be registered. And then there are many facilities which are given for innovative startups by the government in terms of facilitation of the patent agents, in terms of income tax saving, in terms of making your company more visible in the IP field, or making your company more visible in terms of filing an IP and making IP as an asset. So these facilities are to be taken care, and you can use these facilities while you are filing your IP. So now your IP protection can be done in both scientific and artistic fields. So it becomes very important that you understand the technical differences of what is there and what types of IPs are there. I would not discuss each and every IP. I will be concentrating more on patents, design, and trademarks. Why? Because these patents, design, and trademark are the major IPs which are being covered by the newly found companies. So now when we are talking about patents, we already know that whenever you have a technology, whether you have a product or you have a process, whatever you have, you can always file in for the IP in terms of patents. Now, I will tell you about doing a patent search yourself so that you are already aware of what has to be filed, and you are not just reinventing the wheel, and you are making your startup really innovative. So that we will be discussing in the end of the presentation. The first and foremost thing is you should be able to identify your technology. Once you have an innovative technology in your hand, you have to go in for the IP protection in terms of patent. The term of patent is 20 years from the first filing, and after that it comes in public domain. Then there is a huge difference between patent and design registration. Design registration is only for the aesthetic value of the product. When you are talking about design registration, for example, you are talking about packaging of the product. Like, for example, you are talking about paperboard. The packaging of paperboard company is very good in terms of airlifting. Why? Because it's a very lightweight packaging, and also it is very aesthetic. So those kind of things can be covered in design registration when you are talking about the design registration. Then comes third is your trademark. Now, trademark, obviously, when you're forming a company, then yes, you should have your own company logo. And like my company, IP Inculcator, I have already filed for the trademark for my company. So whatever logo, signs, or whatever you have in your mind for your company, it can be your company name or it can be an abstract mark also. Like, for example, Apple is there. So if you have these kind of things, you should register for your trademark. Now, trademark is one thing which can be renewed every year, every 10 years when you are registering for it. And this trademark is going to help you make a name in the society, as well as prepare your company for that. Means the people will know about the goodwill of your company. So what kind of services, whether you are going in for a service mark, if you have a service company, so it is going to help you identify your company with a easy trade name and the trademark is filed for it. Similarly, I would here like to discuss trade dress also. Why? Because that times the companies, like, for example, you are selling a known product in the market, but you have a nice packaging for it, and you are working on your company is basically working. It's a common product, but the packaging of the product is very important. Like Pepperboat, I already gave an example. So trade dress also matters a lot, where you are talking about the packaging of your product. Like, for example, we are talking about the Cadbury's chocolate. So Cadbury's chocolate is already known by the purple colored wrapper. So these things, this way you are able to identify your company's product by the filing the trade dress at the right time. When the product is ready and you are ready for the market launch, you can probably look out for trade dress and you can file it for your own company. Copyrights is something like, for example, we are already knowing that you are having some content which is related to your company, to your website, then yes, copyright is the option wherein you can file in for the copyright and you can get the rights for life of the author for plus 60 years for the literary work category in case you are filing. Also, if in case you are a software company, then you can file in for the softwares, that is your algorithms and all the softwares will be filed in the software category. And the term of the software is 5 years in India. So that way you can use copyright also. So these are the four or five major IPs which are being used by the companies, especially by the corporates, and they are using these IPs in order to aggressively market their products. Now let's talk about patenting in detail. Now when we are talking about patenting in detail, we need to understand the NNU criteria very deeply. Why we need to understand this NNU criteria very deeply? Because when we are filing for, suppose we have done our company registration. Now company registration is a separate process at all. Once you have done your company registration, you have to talk about innovation. Like when we are talking about innovation, that what is the new thing which you are bringing, or why you are launching that new product into the market. So you should be assured about the novelty, non-obviousness, and industrial applicability. Now when we are talking about novelty, novelty comes seeing the literature review. When we are talking about the literature review means not only the papers, research papers which have been published related to that particular field, it also covers the patents which have been covered related to that particular field. And not only this, it also covers the YouTube videos. Now, whatever has been documented related to that field, which it will be considered in the field of the novelty. So you should be very, very clear while we are doing the patent search. When we do the patent search, we look out for the research gap and we assure the novelty that yes, this is the thing which we are going to put into the market or we are going to use. Then comes your non-obviousness. Now, non-obviousness is also a very tricky criteria. Why it is a very tricky criteria? Because as per the Patent Act, when we are talking about the definition of the non-obviousness or inventive step, it clearly mentions that you should, anybody who is skilled in the art, like for example, I have a PhD degree, I hold a PhD degree. So I am skilled in the art. I know chemistry much in detail. Now, after reading the literature or after understanding the literature, if I am able to derive to that result, that means my invention is obvious. For let me quote an example here. Suppose you are doing any reaction A plus B, which is giving you a product C. Now this reaction is already reported in the literature. Now I have to look into it, that what is the new thing which I have done. Now suppose that reaction is being taking place in using a simple base. Now that base is already reported in the literature, but I am doing the reaction without a base. If I am doing the reaction without a base and I am giving some extraordinary result set, like for example, in terms of yield, in terms of time, in terms of temperature, whatever is my reactions observation, and I'm able to get a product C with in higher yield or in higher quantities, then yes, my invention stands non-obvious in terms of the prior art which I have been consulting or which I have been seen by while I am doing my research or while I am doing my reaction. Then comes your industrial applicability. Now this plays a very important role. Again, why this is also very important, that whatever research we are doing, it has to be for the benefits of the society, and you have to consider it useful for the society so that the society is able to make use of it very, and also you are able to make an industry out of it. That is again one of the criterias. For now, these three criterias, the NNU criterias, have to be taken into consideration while we are doing the research. Now I would like to know if you are already aware about the idea generation. Anybody who would like to put in the chat box and they understand what is basically an idea and how to structure an idea. If anybody would like to put in the chat box on how to structure the idea and what is an idea, if they understand. I'm just opening the chat box. Let me please, if you could put it in the chat box that what are the things which you consider while you are ideating. Anybody? Okay. So let me put it. See, idea generation is an art. There are two ways. One way is that all of a sudden you have something in your mind and it strikes. But that possibility of striking that, okay, I have all of a sudden I know that, yes, I have to come up with an innovative shampoo or I have to come up with an innovative chocolate. That is up to you, and you might look out for the ingredients and you might see that, okay, these are the ingredients which have not been worked, so let me work. So this is just like it is coming out of serendipity, like जिसे कहते हैं ना कि हमें एकदम से strike कर गया that, okay, this compound might not have been used, but this will happen only once in your lifetime. Mostly idea generation is done with using structured research, understanding the literature, doing a thorough literature review when you're talking about the ideation. And after that thorough literature review, if you are coming up with a novel product or a process, then your chances of success will be more than 90%, and almost it will be reaching 100%. And I can assure you why, because I have been doing it when I was working with the corporates, or I was working with a university, or now if I am working with my own startup as for the clients which I am doing. So most of the ideas, if you are doing a structured literature review, you are going to be 100% sure, and your product is going to have more than 90% of success. And especially when you are talking about the TRL levels, like in the coming series of lectures, there will be experts who will be talking about technology readiness levels. So you have to cross those barriers also. So if your idea is fully developed and fully mature, it will be easy for you for the data generation as well as reaching up to those technology readiness levels. Don't and mind you, I'm going to tell you why, because these technology readiness levels are to be crossed in order to launch your product into the market. So when you're talking about the lab research, your lab research is going to end at level 2 or 3, and then 4, 5, and 6, you have to go with rigorous data generation and rigorous validation of your technology. If you are doing this validation of your technology, 100% your technology readiness levels are to be crossed. Now, when we are talking about the idea generation, there are two ways. Either you can use the free databases which are available. Here I have listed the free databases, like first of all, the Google patent ep.spacenet is for Europe. That means you want to see all the patents which have been filed in Europe. USPTO is for US. India IP services, IN, then patent lens is also there, which is again giving you better scope for all the patent databases. And then patent scope WIPO is there, which is talking about the PCT filing and your international filing. Out of these databases, like as you see, these few are country specific. Google Patents is the most easy one for the students or for the researchers who are looking out for the novelty in their ideas, or who are looking out that whether maybe I'm not reinventing the wheel, or whatever research I have done, maybe it is not published anywhere, I need to see. So Google Scholar and Google Patents are the two databases which you can use for research papers and for patents respectively. Now, when you are talking about these databases are going to help you identify the novelty in your idea. Now, how this novelty has to be taken care of, this we are going to understand by the types of searches which we do. First, we will understand what are the types of searches which we do, and then you will understand that which search has to be done at what time, so that tomorrow when you are first ideating, you are able to catch hold of your idea. Then when you are launching your product, you are able to launch it in the right market and in the right budget. So that also matters a lot when you are talking about. So that way, patent tools can be used very easily. Now, first and foremost, we will understand the novelty and patentability search. Now, when we are talking about the novelty and patentability search, the novelty and patentability search is going to help you understand your idea and compare it and give you the NNU in your hand, that whether your idea is having novelty, it is able to pass the non-obviousness or utility of your invention. Now you can do it with the free databases also, and you can use it with the paid databases also. Now when you are doing it with the paid databases, what are the advantages you get? It saves your time and energy. It gives you now, because most of the paid databases, like whether you use Patseer, whether you use Thomson Innovation, or you use Orbit, or you use Excel Pack, these are some of the paid databases which are easily available. You can take access to these databases, and you can, because they have embedded artificial intelligence also. So now, because they have embedded artificial intelligence, these databases are more easy to use, where you need not form long keyword strings, and they will give you options for keywords also, and you can even paste your abstract there, and from that abstract they are going to give out the matching results. So instead of looking into thousands and lakhs of patents or literature, it confines you to some thousands results. Now when you get those 1,000 results, it's easy for you to scroll those databases and understand those database, your research, and it's easy to identify the research gap. So that way, novelty and patentability search is going to help you in the beginning. Now, mind it, in the beginning, you have to do the novelty and patentability search so that you understand the research gap thoroughly. That, okay, this is the place where I need to work. Whether whatever, suppose for your innovative shampoo, you have chosen some plant, and that plant is already existing and the shampoo is already made out of it. But still you need to see that, okay, what are the things they have not covered, and maybe I can make another formulation, and or maybe I can switch over to some other plant. It depends on my research, the level of research I want to achieve. Then comes your freedom to operate. Now, once your idea is developed, you have developed and it is fully mature, then comes your freedom to operate, where you are going to launch your product. Like for example, in India, because as I told you that IP rights are territorial in nature. So obviously you are filing your patent in India, so you are going to get your rights in India. But it is not, you are not going to stop only in India. Obviously you would like to move to countries where you would like to gain more business, you would like to make more clients. So in that way, freedom to operate searches are going to help you, where they are going to check your idea in terms of, or your product in terms of launch date, that whether your product can be launched in that jurisdiction, or whether there is some problem, or there is some process or molecule which is already there, which has been filed in that country. So that way it is going to help you. Now all the searches which we do, which we are doing or you will be searching, you have to always go in for a global search. You cannot go for a country specific search, except freedom to operate. When you are talking about freedom to operate, then yes, you are looking out for the product in terms of that particular country. Then invalidity search. Invalidity searches are performed at a later stage when you are a known company and you are aggressively marketing your product into the market and you want to find out or revoke patents which are already filed related to those technologies. So all the big players, all the big corporates, like whether you talk about Apple, Samsung, these are the companies which are involved in invalidity searches or in order to cancel the patents which are being filed by the companies. Now, launch dates and strategies. This is something, again, the IP literature is going to help you analyze. For example, the molecules are already filed and you are looking out for the invalidation or for the launch date, that is the para 3 and the para 4 filing for those products. So that way, when you are launching your product, especially this is related to the pharmaceutical products. When we are talking about the drugs, we are talking about the dosages, whatever you are filing, the para 3 and para 4 strategies, you can design accordingly. Then comes your file wrapper analysis. Now, file wrapper analysis again is one of the searches which you can perform when you are talking about your product and you find that this product is something which is very similar to something which is already known in the market. So now in order to see what has been and you want to invalidate that particular patent, then you can do a file wrapper analysis. The last and most important, this is for your initial stages, the landscapes and dossiers. For example, you want to, like, for example, you are, as I told you, you want to launch a new shampoo into the market. So you should be available, you should have a literature related to what are the shampoos which are already there, which are available in the market. Or you are talking about a vaccine. If you are talking about a vaccine and you vaccine which is available, you should be able to see that, okay, what are the landscapes and dossier? That is the complete information of that product, a complete information about that technology. And that should be available with you regarding, and that it is not only, and that information will not only talk about the product, it will talk about its process, it will talk about its polymorphs, it will talk about the molecule in, or it will talk about the technology in deep. So landscapes and dossiers also, you can use these technologies for looking out for the novel ideas in your product. Now, I have a screenshot where I will talk about the Google Advanced Search. Now, if you have time, you all can, or after this lecture, what you can do is you can open the Google patent. And when you will open the Google patent, it will show you a tab for a single search. In that single search, you can put your keywords. The whatever keywords, like for example, suppose you want to make a nutrition bar. If you are making a nutrition bar or new chocolate bar, maybe you want to make a millet bar. So when you will put the keywords as millet or chocolate and or bar, it is going to give you the result set. But that result set is going to be in lakhs. If it is in lakhs, you are going to, obviously it is going to waste your time. Why? Because nobody can screen manually those lakhs patents which have been filed. So what you can do is, below, when you will see at the Google patent page, there is something called as advanced Google search. Now, when you click on that tab, advanced Google search, this page is going to open. And on the left side, you will see the priority date. You will see the inventors. You will see the assignee. So you can limit your search to assignee, that is the companies, like for example, you want to look out for patents related to Cadbury's, or you want to look out for patents related to other companies for which are the major key players in your technology domain. Then you can look out for those patents and you can see that, okay, what is the level of research which they have done. Or you can even look out for, like for example, for the researchers, like for example, if we have the PhD students, usually the PhD students, what they do, they are being asked to look out for the literature for last 5 years or for last 10 years related to that technology. So you can even limit your, if you will see at the date and priority, you can, they have a start date and they have an end date. So at the start date and the end date, you can give your timelines. And suppose you are looking out for literature for the last 5 years, it is going to give you the literatures for the last 5 years. And you can screen that literature for the last 5 years. And you can see that, okay, what is the research gap which I have identified? What are the white spaces which I can work on? Where are the spaces which I can work? What are the problems which they have? Like, for example, if suppose they are saying that, okay, the polymorph is not stable, then whether you can work on that polymorph or not, whether you can work on the stability of the formulation or not, or if they say that, okay, the enantiomeric separation is very difficult, so enantiomeric separation is not giving the RNS isomers separately. So maybe you can work on those enantiomeric separation. Those things you can really work on those technologies at a higher level. Now, similarly, now when you are using this Google patent, it is going to, because Google patent is an easily accessible database, and also it has advantage of giving you translations free of cost. So most of the Chinese, Japanese, all those patents have been translated in a very good language, and they give you the correct and the accurate translations. Similarly, if you talk about the ep.spacenet also gives you the translation of all the European patents as well as the Chinese and Japanese patents and Korean patents, and you can look out for the translation for those patents there at ep.spacenet also very easily. Now, when we are talking about why I'm asking you to use Google Patent as a free database, because once it is easily available, second, it is giving you translation also, and it is giving you a worldwide coverage also for maximum countries which are going into rigorous IP filing. Then comes your private databases. Now, in this presentation, I have not included the slide for the private databases. Why? Because that I will be taking in a personal session when we meet, because this is an online session. When we meet in a offline session, we sit and we ideate, then we will use those databases and we will look out for the ideas for on how we have to search. Now, any questions related to the ideation or patent search? Any questions which you have related to patent search? What are the databases which can be used and key strings? Any questions which you have, you can put it in the chat box, please, in case you have any present questions. I'll be happy to take the questions. Any questions related to patent searching?
So you can text.
Anybody? If you have any questions, you can please put it in the chat box. I'll be happy to take them. Related to patent searching. Okay. So now you are already aware about the novelty of your idea, and now you have developed the idea. But still, I would like you to share a small story with you so that you understand on how the idea has to be developed. Now see, this is something which we have been, what is this? This is already a face mask which we have been using during the Corona times. And this face mask has been granted in US in, I think, in the year 1969. Now, this face mask is a very common face mask which was at that time discovered, or at that time invented, not discovered, rather invented, which was covering the nose area and the chin area, and it was just going to protect you from against all the foul smells which is going to bother you while you are in a polluted environment. Now, after that, once this face mask was in public it came into the knowledge of the public, there was another inventor who again worked on that face mask, and they said that no, we have an improved face mask, which is a tri-layer face mask, which is again covering the nose and the mouth, but it has a germ killing capacity. That means all the viruses or all the bacteria which are going to enter, they are not going to enter the respiratory system. So this particular mask is again going to improve, is an improved version of the previous mask. Why? Because it has a germ killing capacity. So okay, fine, this mask is also into the market now. Then comes another mask. They said no, we have one problem. Why we have this problem? Why? Because when the person is wearing a mask, we are not able to identify the person. And also what happens when you are wearing the mask, what happens? The mask is sticking on the face, so there is a difficulty in inhalation and exhalation. So what we should do, first we should have a transparent mask. It is a transparent mask, it is going to give the identity of the person. Second, the mask is having a 90-degree notch. When the mask is having a 90-degree notch, what happens? You have an easy inhalation and exhalation, and you don't have the problem of perspiration, which is again a very unique problem, which is being when you are wearing the mask for a very long time. So that's why it becomes very important that yes, again, now you can see small innovations, but useful innovations have been done in the terms of the mask technology. Now, okay, these masks are also into the market. Then comes another mask. They said, okay, we have one more problem, that some people have a long nose and they have a long protruding nose. So what happens? The mask is always going downwards. So now we have to solve that problem. So what they did, they have a notch which is going to hold on the mask onto the nose, and this is going to help in the easy inhalation and exhalation. Also, the mask is having an extended coverage, which is not only covering the nose and the chin, it is also covering a part of the face, so that major infection is not being reaching the respiratory system. So these kind of masks are already known, and you must have seen these kind of masks in the market also. Then comes another. This is the N95 mask, which have been used in the COVID times, which they said that no, we should have other filters, and these filters are going to these can be used for different kinds of gases. So based on the level of the gas and the level of the filtration, the filters can be easily adapted, and they can be added to the mask. So you have a plurality of filters which can be used as per your requirement, and these filters can be removed and added as per the requirement of the user. Like if you are working in a highly polluted atmosphere, like for example, you need a special filter for nitrogen dioxide, or you need a special filter for ammonia. So based on the poisonous gas, you can change the filter accordingly, or you can use a general filter for viruses or bacteria like the N95 filter. So this is the N95 mask. Then again, the people were not satisfied. They had identified the problem. Now, what was the problem which they identified? They identified the problem that because the filters are at the base of the mask. So what is happening when the filters are at the base of the mask? What the mask is having is shifting downwards. Now, when the mask is shifting downwards due to that weight, again, you have a problem that the user is having a constant pain in the ear or a constant pain at the back of the head. Why? Because the mask is having a tendency, due to the weight of the filters, it is always going down. So here comes the most advanced masks which are now being put into the market, where it is again a tri-layer or a multi-layered mask, where they have they have inbuilt the filters, and those filters are woven with the cloth of the mask. So that way, what is happening? You have a uniform weight distribution, you have a uniform layer of the filter, and it is going to help you in protection, and it is having a large range of protection as compared to the masks which are there in the market. So that why it becomes very important. This is the way you ideate. Why I have shared this story with you, so that you understand that ideation is not a difficult task. If you are going through a thorough literature review, if you are going and reading the literature and understanding the problems of the prior art, if you understand what are the problems they are stating, and even if you read, like when you talk about reading the literature review, or we are talking about reading the review articles, when you read those review articles thoroughly, you understand what are the problems the scientists are facing, and you are trying to solve those problems. Now, when you talk about innovation, there are two ways. Either you can launch a known product. When you are launching a known product, it is an easier task. Why? Because you are already, the product is already known. You are doing some hereby innovation, and you are launching the product into the market. So those are the startups where you can launch an already known product. But if you are working on an innovative startup where you are launching a new product, then you should do a thorough literature review. When you will do a thorough literature review using patent as a database, these databases are really going to help you. And when you are going and understanding, reading those databases, and you understand and you use these databases, you are going to 100% get an idea which is thorough and which is going to help you in the ideation in the long run. Now, if you have time, I would request you to please open Google Patent Database, all of you. Please open the Google Patent Database and try to do a search on your own. Please do a search on your own. Everybody. And if you have any problem, go to the advanced search. When you will go to the advanced search tab below, if you will go to the advanced search tab below, it is going to help you. You can go in with the assignee search. You can look out for even the inventors. If you suppose you want to follow a scientist and you want to look out for the patents related to that particular scientist, you can easily put their name in the inventors category, or you can even put company's name in the assignee category, and you can look out for the patents which they have filed. Similarly, in Google Scholar also you have the option. You can use the Google Scholar, but it is going to only give you the literature review. For patent, you have to follow Google Patent, and you can make here it is not required that you make long key strings. Long key strings are required when you are using a paid database. So here you can simply put your keywords, like common keywords which you want to put, and then you can restrict it by the priority date. That is, you want the literature for last 5 years or 10 years. It depends on you, on how you are doing the search. So I'm giving you 5 minutes. Please go on the Google Patent database and use it, and ask your queries in case you have any queries for all the students there.
Yeah, in fact, now every research institution is insisting to start a research program, this kind of prior art search.
Yes, sir,
It
is mandatory.
Unlike
Yes,
in the previous years, you make some adaptive research or something like that. Now nobody is, encouraging such things.
Yes, sir. It is, and in fact, all the institutes should have private databases, patent databases, with these are easy to access. And now these private databases, they have combined with they are not only giving you the patent literature, they are also giving you the literature. So what they do is they give you the research articles also along with your search. So that makes your search very easy.
When this was when IP was discussed some 30 years back, around 25, 30 years back, first our one resource person told us, you will get more idea when you search patents than reading a
Yes,
research
sir.
article.
Yes, that's true, sir.
So
That's
that now only I realized when you gone through that mask.
yes.
So you will not get such a detailed things in a research paper.
No, you will not get,
Drastically,
sir.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the scope of research and scope of idea generation and further IP protection in terms of patents will be more if you are trained in the beginning itself through this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This is what we used to do in Lovely. In Lovely, when I used to take the sessions, I used to start with, and especially when my scholar was joining me. So all my research scholars, they used to tell me that why you are doing this. They used to ask me question, ma'am, why you are asking us to do and ask read patterns. Studying patterns is so difficult. Reading patterns is so difficult. I said no. Once you are thorough with it, you will understand. And then the outcome of my research scholars was not only high impact papers. Always they used to get a patent, a copyright, and an international patent. That was mandate for my group when I was doing the research there. So that's why it becomes important that we understand and make them understand that okay, right from the beginning, that you have to do the patent search and you have to understand your technology thoroughly. uh, Everybody is able to do the advanced search? Please write yes or no in the chat box.
Miss, I had a doubt.
Yes, yes, please
Miss,
ask me.
I did the search. So I got some 14,000 results in that. When
Hmm.
we are doing the search, we'll be getting the results for only the patented products there, no? In that Google patent. Now you
Mm-hmm.
talked about the YouTube videos also. So there may be some
Yes.
kind of links. So how can we know the real novelty of our idea with this much search only?
No, no, not see. When this is, don't get afraid when you are searching and you are getting some 14,000 results. When you will see the Google patent, the first page itself, it shows you the most matching results. So first, from the first page, you can understand and you can see what are the major patents which have been filed in that area. First and foremost thing. Second, you can now limit your search by putting your, as I told you that you can limit your search for last 5 years or last 10 years. So then you can limit your search by last 5 years or 10 years, and then you can see that, okay, what are the major patents which have been talking about the same research or similar research. If you have the same research, then obviously there's no point of reading it further and doing research on it. That means this topic has already been covered. But if you have similar research, then you can look out for the gaps, that okay, what are the things they have done, like the way I showed you in the ideation of the mask, that what were the problems in the earlier patents and how they covered it. Secondly, for YouTube videos, you have to see the patent office, the Indian patent office also, they consider YouTube videos as one of the prior arts, where they ask for technical differences related to that particular technology. Because mostly what happens, like for example, suppose you are working on some product and you are trying, in terms of, you start early marketing of your product and you put your YouTube video before filing an IP, then your own video is going to be a prior art for you. So that is why it becomes important that yes, you are going on the YouTube video and you are assuring your novelty, non-obviousness, and utility. Now, for assuring of your utility, for your assurance of your novelty, as you are asking me, novelty means anything which has been documented before will be considered as novel. will be considered as losing out your novelty. Like for example, I said that suppose I want to use a certain plant in a shampoo. If that plant is already known in the literature, whether it's a patent literature or it's a review paper or a research paper, and that plant has been used for in a shampoo, but suppose that plant has only addressed the problem of dandruff, but you are addressing the use of that plant in suppose solving the problem of psoriasis, like you have skin psoriasis and you are, and then you are the prior art is just showing a simple shampoo, but you are able to make a advanced shampoo out of it, then obviously your novelty shall be assured. Why? Because that it has not been used for psoriasis, one thing. The second, the formulation which you are developing is new. Because making a general shampoo and making an advanced shampoo, the formulation might differ. Or even your excipients which you are using, the excipients may be different. So that way you can assure your novelty. Your novelty is going to come by combination and permutations. So by combining the combinations and permutations, by using, your novelty will be assured. But yes, now there is a second catch, non-obviousness. Non-obviousness, you have to take care and you have to generate and data, and you have to show that yes, your shampoo is better than the shampoo which is there in the market. So you have to generate the data and prove your non-obviousness. Once you are able to prove your non-obviousness, that whatever shampoo you have produced is giving you better results in terms of psoriasis or in terms of skin diseases, then yes, you are going to pass the NNU criteria. Now, is your query solved now?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? If you're having any query, please ask related to the search, the Google pattern search which you are doing. Whatever research institute you are working, you should ask the organization to hire those databases. Not only Google Patent. Google Patent is free. You can ask for Excel Pat or Patsia for your organizations. They can have an access to those databases, and those databases are really user friendly. And because they have AI embedded in them, so you can simply put in your abstract and you can do the search, and it is going to give you clear cut decision whether the novelty has been it is going to give out the matching results also, and it is going to give you a search report which is going to give you a clear verdict that whether your idea is novel or not. So that way your task becomes easier when you are using the paid databases. Actually, this is a 1 hour session, so I will not take much in detail, but when we are meeting offline, we'll take a elaborate session on patent searching and understand on how we have to do the patent search. Any more questions related to patent searching? I hope everybody is able to use the Google patent. Similarly, you can use, especially those who are from chemistry and pharmacy, in case you want to do in for a structure search, the patent scope database at the WIPO is going to help you with this is the database WIPO patent scope, which is going to help you with the structure search. You can go in for structures also. You can make your structures there and you can look out for the similarity, especially for compounds if you are working for novel compounds. So that is why it is going to help you that yes, whether my compound which I am working is novel or not. So 100% you can get because when you are talking about a novel compound, yes, the granting of the patent is far more easier. Why? Because the compound has never been worked on. So getting a marker structure, yes, you are going to get a very good patent in your hand. So you can use the structure search also. Any more questions which are related to the patent search?
Some of you can, if any question, you can put it in the chat box also.
Yes, it will be easy for me to read out the question and answer. Okay, so now I understand that you have understood the importance of literature searching, using patent as a tool. Take patents as a tool for understanding the research more deeply. So I would request all of you, whatever level of research you are doing, whether you are doing it for your startup, whether you are doing it as a regular part of your course study, or you are doing it for research, whatever you are doing, please incorporate patent searching as one of the tools for understanding the research. And once you understand your topic deeply and thoroughly, I can assure from my side that 100% whatever results you are getting, you are going to generate an idea out of it. And once your idea is generated, what are the facilities? I would like to now tell you the facilities which the government is giving for startups. Suppose you are an innovative startup. First and foremost thing, they are giving you a tax benefit of 3 years. So the income tax benefit of 3 years is being given to your company. Once you incorporate a company, then apart from that, in the IP filing, there is reduction in fees of the trademark up to 50%. There is reduction in fees for patent filings up to 80%. Also, they are giving you trademark facilitation and the patent facilitation free of cost. You can look out for patent agents or companies who are ready to file your patents free of cost, and you can see how the government is going to help up for those startups. You can register your company, whether you are going in for a proprietorship or an LLP. It depends on you on how you are incorporating your company. In the later series, because this particular section is being taken by some other speakers, so they are going to tell you the differences on how you have to go in for a company registrations. Once you are through with your company registration, please file an IP. First and foremost thing, trademark, you have to file for your that is your logo. You have to protect your logo or name, whatever you want to protect. Then for your product or process, the technology which you want to cover, that is going to into patent. Then for all your company major writings which you want to cover, you can, or your website, if you want to protect, it, go in for a copyright. The software, if you are working for a software, again go and protect it in the copyright. If you are also working on the packaging of your, suppose you are working, don't want to invest much time in research and you want to launch a known product, then still I would request you, please work on the packaging of the material. So file in a design registration or a trade dress, depending on what you want to process. So this is the end of my lecture. And my take home message for all of you is that please use IP as a tool. Please use IP as a tool. The IP has huge benefits. Maybe in the initial years, you will feel that yes, you have to struggle a lot, but once you are crossing that IP barrier, you are crossing those hurdles, you will yourself feel that yes, you have come out with a really innovative startup, and India needs those innovative startups. That is why these lectures are being held, and we are educating the students throughout the country so that they understand the value of ideation and they are coming up with novel ideas, because we feel that the younger generation is having better scope as compared to we middle-aged people or older people. So that way you are going to benefit your own country, you are going to benefit yourself. Please start using IP as a tool. Thank you.
Thank you, Ranjan. Actually,
Thank you, sir.
this is what the same thing I want to tell our youngsters. Now, this is a era where all are looking to IP. And when we were young, we were not understanding the importance.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes, sir.
yeah, because it was not protected also.
There
there
was
is
no
only-
IP education.
Yeah, education, and there is no protection also. Patent was not very, our Indian context, it was not very,
Yes.
very value, that much.
Yes.
But now everything is changed. A lot of legal framework is there. Everything is put on place. So, and when I listen you, I understand that when you seriously search 1 or 2 weeks on patents,
Yes, sir.
fine ideas and very fine
Yes,
products
sir.
we can make. That
Yes,
is,
sir.
that is
And even we can work on known products also. We should not be
improve.
disheartened. Yes,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to improve the known products which are already there.
So
So
because
this is how the
sometimes
research will go.
some of that students may think that phone previously it was square.
Yes,
Samsung
sir.
wants round curve. So
Hmm.
that many things you can develop. I mean, incorporate the advantages.
Yes, sir. Even the bigger giants also, they are also improving their products every 6 months or every year.
They are changing that.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for joining. Yeah, we will have some other occasion to meet in person also. Thank you.
Surely, sir.
And
Surely.
whenever you are coming to South, please make a visit to our institute also.
Surely, sir. I will surely visit your institute. Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for your time.
Thank
Thank you.
Okay, then we will end the session today with all your permission. Okay.